What do you think about that? With
Good for them, they got busted. Yeah. It's too bad that, like, Major League Baseball, in my opinion, is probably covering up a lot. And players should be accountable. There shouldn't be no, immunity?
Right.
That's bullshit. I mean, Pete Rose didn't get immunity.
That's what I'm saying.
None of those Black Sox guys got immunity. All the guys that did steroids, I mean, Barry Bonds, one of the best baseball players there ever was. Roger Clemens, one of the best pitchers. Those guys haven't sniffed the Hall of Fame. If this shit didn't tarnish their records, they would have already been in there. So here's these guys that won a World Series and cheated, got busted, but then were granted immunity because they told the truth. That to me is total bullshit. Now, the front office and the managers that were involved, they took the responsibility and they were let go. They're suspended, whatever it is. I'd find it hard to believe those guys would ever find a job in baseball again. That's just me. But I think they swept a lot of shit under the rug.
That's what I think too.
I think they had to, like, really cover up and keep themselves from just really looking bad as a corporation.
Is that because people were saying, like, Stephen A. Smith, and when you were listening to them, they're like, "Oh no, that's common. Everyone does it," but they just got caught.
Bullshit.
That's extreme, right?
They took it to another level. Now you're batting and I'm at second base, and that catcher's dumb enough I can steal his signs, and I relay, put my hand on my leg, so fastball, or put my hand on my right leg. That's been going on for 100 years.
Yeah.
But when you're from me to him down the steps, and there's a video monitor, and you're cheating like that, that's a whole nother level. And now they just got some stuff that came out today talking about this code breaker system on the software they built, where instead of a human trying to decipher the signs, this program picked it up like that. And there's so many people involved. I know this. I was part of a team that played that team 19 times a year. I got fired. Why? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, in 3 years working for the Angels, we played them close to 60 times. How many of those games did my guys get their ass kicked because they cheated?
Did you go back on that and just for a mental note?
No, I mean, it's
just whatever.
But I mean, yeah, it's like people lost their jobs, man. People lost their careers because of that. And it was wrong. And to slap you on the wrist, suspend you for a year, to dock how bad does $5 million hurt the Houston Astros? Zero. Nothing, man. There's a guy betting $13 million in mattresses that, they were going to win it last year. Some stupid shit. They got busted. What they did was wrong. There's players from the past. The best player in baseball can't walk into a major league stadium. He's been banned for life. And, what did he do? Tax evasion, bet on games. He was a junkie, sports bettor, I mean, he never threw games. He couldn't, he knew the outcomes because of the teams he had. And so he'd bet on his team to win, or even if he bet on his team to lose, he didn't affect that outcome. He didn't tell the guy to give it up. Mm-hmm. He just knew that, God, this guy sucks tonight. I'm going to bet against him. I got a better chance of winning this game, even if it's like against I don't know if he did it, but I know that the best player in baseball is banned from the game. And these guys are all going to be playing next year. So
do you think that it's just too much?
How does that work?
If they were to be fair, they'd suspend the whole team, anybody who was a part of that team, or at least the pitchers or the coaches.
I'm saying they'd probably suspend a quarter of the league or ban them. I know when I first heard the news, my first thought was instantly ban them for life.
Yeah.
Ban them for fucking life. Simple as that. Because you way overcrossed the line. I mean, you like I said, you took it to another level. Apple Watches and the dugout, and
they're saying they had the buzzer. I think Altuve had like a buzzer supposedly.
I don't doubt it. I mean, who's to say they didn't? Only baseball can cover that up, But I honestly think that there's more to it than we'll ever hear. Spring training's on the verge of happening next week. It's going to be this big controversy. It's going to be the topic of baseball for the next, 200 days. And you'll never hear, the truth. No one's ever going to come out and say it. No one's going to say it. The only guy that came out and said it's the guy that ratted on the thing in the first place. And he didn't rat. He just told the story. Like, this is what we did. We cheated.
What was his? Why did he say that?
Not sure.
Just for
Maybe
conversation.
he was disgruntled. Who knows? Went to a different team. And, I know going into those stadiums, you always know, like, there's always this leeriness. Like, what are these guys doing? They're doing something, because there's no way that this shit's happening every time we play here. And, looking back, yeah, I mean, there's cheating that goes on. And, being a pitcher, I was never really involved in it because it mostly affects the offense and understanding what pitch is coming. So I was never directly involved in cheating. I know I've been on teams where there's been talk about, hey, if you want to know what's coming, I'll let you know. And maybe there was a light off in the distance, behind the batter's eye, and the guy standing at home plate, and that little Christmas light blinked. I don't know. I know the good guys, they didn't want to know. Like, the good guys didn't want to know. It was always the little shitty punch and Judy hitters, the little guys, and they all wanted to know. But like I said, I wasn't involved in that, and I'm not opening up a whole other can of worms, but I know these guys got busted, and I know that there's guys.
No one paid, really.
Guys got off.
Yeah.
Well, the only guys that are paying the price is the GM, the managers. Hell, the guy who went to Boston, he was part of the Astros.
Yes.
He got fired.
He won a championship.
I'm sure he brought the system with him. The guy who never managed one game in New York, Beltran, he got the job this winter, and he had to be let go before he even managed his first game, just because he was part of that whole scene. And so maybe they made an example of those guys and said, we're going to suspend you for a year. I can guarantee you that Shoeless Joe Jackson or Pete Rose or some of these other guys have been tainted for life would say, well, why didn't you just suspend me for a year? And I don't know. I don't have hate or want to see vengeance, but I mean, I never cheated, and it sucks for me to know that I played in an era where everybody was sticking needles in their ass, I'm the same size now as I was the day I graduated high school and my whole career, and that's what I was. But I saw guys come from one season to the next with necks and swollen faces and arms out to here. It's like, holy shit, And they're all cheating, or they were using banned substances, or at the time they weren't banned.
Do you think if they did a correct punishment, do you think it would affect Major League Baseball forever? Or do you think it would bring integrity to the game?
I think that would be a decision for each his own, everybody would have their own opinion on that. And I know you can probably tell by my feeling, it's me personally, I'd like to see guys pay the price, man. I'm out of baseball for the rest of my life probably because of other reasons with the way the game has transitioned into these, younger analytic type, guru guys that only keep a job for a year now. The guys that came and replaced me, they had their job for 1 year and they were let go. So I know they don't have what it takes to put your arm around some guy in June and, pick him up when he's down in the dumps. And they don't have that experience to draw off of. They're just these guys that crunch numbers. And so I recognize where I stand in the game. And I have something to offer, maybe to a different generation or a different arena now. It won't be part of that yes world. I'm not a yes guy. I have an opinion. I have experiences, and I don't know everything. I want as much information to help me as I can to educate me and make me a better coach. But I'm not just going to be a puppet. And so I made my own choices of, this is what it is. This is what it is. Those guys fucked up, man. Bottom line. And when you fuck up on the street, if you're drunk and you kill somebody, you're going to jail. This might not be as extreme, but it is. They got busted. They got caught. They did something wrong, and they're being protected. Simple as that.
That's crazy. And that's exactly what, around the scuttlebutt, in the office with around the coffee maker or whatever. That's exactly what everyone's saying. That now oh, it's baseball, and it's sort of almost there's no consequences, and it's sort of ruining baseball.
Totally has. There'll always be fans. You know, the TV market's gone through the roof. The money's ridiculous. There's always going to be kids that are going to have a favorite team. You're going to have your favorite players. That's not going away. Attendance has gone down. That's fact.
There's too many games.
Well, there's a lot of games. It's every day. It's tough, man.
It's hard to keep up and
really
maintain
hard
your
to
life.
keep up,
With football, it's like, oh, Sunday.
Once a week.
Yeah.
Right? It's a big party. You look forward to whatever, and it's a big party. And now with the access to all this, all the different media outlets, you're not just following your team anymore. You're following like 29 other teams.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to keep up with it, like you said.